Hey, what's good with the YouTube? It's your boy Rojo. This is a convict's perspective. I'm joined by my boy Big Flacco, as always. And today we're gonna smash and dash, slide on through. A little bit of energy, man. Today we got an interesting topic. We're gonna be talking about an individual out of Stockton, who many of y'all have heard about. A lot of things have gone on with this individual throughout his career. And we'll have Flacco take it from here, man.
Charles Oakes, peanut from Stockton. At one point out there in that area, Stockton, Lathrop, Manteca, a lot of dudes had a lot of respect for him. I heard it because I was in DVI. And I'm going to go into that later on. Was up in the Bay for a while. Was promoted to Cat 2 at one time. He was a Cat 2 NF member. He's been around for a minute. And very aggressive, borderline abusive, very authoritative figure towards those that were under him. You know what I mean? So around the time around 2005, I believe, 2006, he started working as a federal informant, as an NF member. At that time, that's when I've already discussed this, and it's already been clarified. Everybody can confirm this, that Pocky was trying to have all the regiments report to him. You know what I'm saying? Stockton, San Francisco, every area was basically reporting to Pocky at that time, which we've already explained, which is a big breach of security, and this is how big indictments happen. And so Peanut's agreement with his law enforcement handlers was to target Mario Weasel Diaz, who was, had his own little organizational operations going on as far as the plug for the NF, as well as Larry Pocky Amaro, who at that time was basically the street regiment, street liaison commander, as far as in charge of all the regiments. Okay, so he did his job. He actually got wiretaps on several individuals, doing controlled buys and so forth. But see, in the process of him being an informant, being the rank that he has, he was utilizing his status still for his own benefit. Conducting illicit crimes and so forth. He ordered a couple removals. There was one allegation of a murder that happened in October of 2006. He had an alibi, so he was able to beat that. There was other allegations about him smashing this dude named Vincent Torres, and then ordering this dude to be sliced a couple months after his handling was already over. They couldn't get him on those charges. Now, what charges they were able to get him on, he was in the county jail, right? Now, this is as an informant at the tail end of his agreement. He was conducting jailhouse transactions on dope and guns on a jailhouse phone. I shit you not, on a jailhouse phone. So Stockton Police Department, now remember, he's working with Operation Valley Star. Unknown to them what's going on with the federal case, they started investigating Peanut. And they had an indictment called Operation Monster that came out in 2008. So here you have Operation Monster, which was a bunch of Norteños and associates that were working under his regiment. So he was playing both sides. I mean, he was making directives and decisions and doing a lot of personal things. I know of one situation I can speak upon because there was a dude that came through silent from Stockton. Now, he had allegedly wrote a homeboy's 15-year-old daughter, at one time. So I had a line to get at Peanut when I was in Tracy. So I got him to confirm that he deemed him no good. And I got feedback from the dude, it was a rapper dude. I had dude hit. This is all while he was an informant. This happened probably around July, August of 2006, around that time. Okay, so he was definitely still trying to, do the things that any Familiano would have. You know what I mean?
Play both sides, yeah.
He's playing both sides, but you have to if you're going to be in that type of position. There's no way. And if you think about it, if you're going to go out anyways, you might as well take advantage of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But that led to a whole case to where he ended up getting 10 years. Now, it's kind of ironic. I've met a lot of people who couldn't stand the dude. They said he was just an asshole. He was fucking terrible. But then if you're from Stockton or you're from those areas, a lot of them embraced him. A lot of people were hurt when they found out he flipped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he ends up getting sentenced to 10 years. I think it was April 23rd, 2017. He ended up getting killed out there in the streets in Stockton. Now, from what I heard from different people, and I don't know the truth, and I'm going to do a disclaimer here. I've heard that it was not an NF hit. He was out there conducting business in his hometown, doing illicit transactions, just being who he was. He just couldn't get rid of that that criminal mindset as far as doing business and stuff. Because the dude, man, honestly, he wasn't no punk. You know what I'm saying? He could fight. He's been boxing his whole life. He put in work. He wasn't no weenie cat. He was with that action. You know what I'm saying? So I guess he felt comfortable enough to go back to Stockton. And as we know, Stockton's kind of it's a melting pot. You got everything out there. They're with that action. The actors are with it. The inactors are with it. The blacks, Asians, everybody's with the business. You can't trust nobody out there. It's hard to really understand unless you've been out there. But that's what was going on with him, man. He ended up getting whacked. And to my understanding, it wasn't an NF hit. But I'm not ruling that out either. They never found the suspect. It was two individuals seen running with hoods. You know what I'm saying? A random fucking shooting. So but he was out there doing his thing. So even if you're doing your thing and they know who you are and what you're about, that's going to paint that target on your back either way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was a big issue because during Operation Valley Star, that was the defensive stance was that your working informant has been conducting illegal crimes up to murder, because he was being accused of murders while he was an informant. He was accused of ordering slicings while he was an informant. So these weren't just some like petty issues of like slinging some dope and making a little bit of money. You know what I mean? These were major allegations. And so there's rumors and speculation that the feds may have tried to cover everything up to keep that case concrete, because he was their only witness basically to this case, was him. You know what I'm saying?
We've seen a lot of things in the past. I mean, with Lizard, I mean, with other people who, you know, actually tried to assist the government in some way. There's always been allegations of misconduct and going rogue and still selling dope. But man, you made a great point. If you're going to be doing things covertly and you don't want to draw attention to yourself by the people that you're trying to be covert on, you got to still be out there doing something to make yourself, because if all of a sudden, oh, I can't do that, I can't do this, like, you know, like if you're working for the government, you're probably expected to be a model citizen. Man, that'll get your cover blown. You know what I mean? If you're out there selling dope every day, you're out there hitting licks, you're out there running a regiment, then all of a sudden, oh, I don't sell drugs no more, I just go to work. Oh, I can't be around that. Man, that's gonna put a major red flag on you, bro. But
Man, they do so much
they
illicit
accuse
stuff,
Lizard
bro.
of all kinds of shit, bro. Selling dope here, going to golf courses there, ordering hits, possibly. I mean, you know, there's been all kinds of different, you know, stories about the Cap Saloon incident, for example. Did he, didn't he? Did he say yes? Did he say yes in a roundabout way? Did he say no when they did anyway? There's all that kind of stuff. And what I see, there's not a lot of NF people that I've never heard of from my time, and Peanut happened to be one of them, man. And the only reason that I knew about him is when I went back to Tracy in 06, you know, that was a pretty fresh there, or 07, excuse me. It was a pretty fresh thing that had just happened. Well, there was a active C above me that I used to talk to through the vent. Like we knew who each other were. And I'm not gonna say his name because he's still good to this day. But he basically told me the same thing that you will, you know, that you kind of insinuated, but you threw the disclaimer on, that we don't think it's an NF thing that he got hit. It was some random street stuff where, you know, whatever happened. People get caught up in that shit all the time. But that's kind of what the active dude above me had said too. He's like, yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff going on, because they just had them Stockton indictments and stuff, and there was all kinds of dudes from Stockton. One of them was a C. And he kind of broke down to me what was going on, you know, because there wasn't nobody in the vent that could have got him in trouble. And he just started talking kind of freely. And he said that was just some street stuff as well. Do we know for sure? Like your disclaimer said, no. But, you know, things, it don't always got to be, you know, a old type of thing when you get got, you know, especially when you're in a place like Stockton and you're still in that lifestyle. That lifestyle comes with consequences, bro, and it could come from anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, apparently he just did what, like 8 years or something like that out of that sentence.
Yeah,
for living that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? He came back to the only place he knew was Stockton. He came back to his home fucking town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what shocked the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? And you know what, bro? I'm gonna tell you right now. I looked up for this case online everywhere. Somehow it's not on Google no more. I found it on the Facebook note, but it used to be on Google. So the feds took this whole case down, I believe, bro. Seriously. I looked for it. Look it up, Charles Oak. You cannot find it
I've looked
anywhere.
for it many times myself.
You know what I'm saying? But it used to be online. And they talked about the informant killed on the streets and whoa, whoa, whoa. And it's like, man, why is it missing off the internet? It makes no sense to me. You know what I mean? I really personally think that regardless of him committing any type of crime, they knew he would be a high priority target. So say they were involved in the hit. The government has blood on their hands once again. Again. They could have prevented so many different situations, but they'll build a case. And I'm not going to go into the things I did, man. I'll tell you right now, I was fucking buck wild, man. I committed more than 1,000 felonies during my time there when I was doing what I did. No bullshit. You know what I mean? Straight up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it, man. But, you know, with this situation, I don't know the reasons why he flipped. I don't know if it was personal. I don't know if it was looking at time. I mean, there's always kind of different variables. People think that people sometimes flip because they're afraid to do time. A lot of times it's more personal than that. Either abuse of authority or, I mean, feeling mistreated or whatnot. It could be a whole different line of variables. I don't know. Apparently he wasn't scared to do no time because he was still doing illicit activities, even after. And that's the crazy part was that that during that whole case, man, it was hard to really reveal. They had assumptions it was him, but they weren't able to figure it out till later on. And I know that for a fact because when that case was going on, one of their private investigators located me. I'm not going to say what the individual's name was, but they located me because I was doing illicit activities with some gente from a different regiment for a minute. And they told me that whenever they have a federal informant in a case, on a federal RICO case, they do not reveal who the informant is till later on. So all they could do is try to get interviews for those that they suspect as being the informant, and they can ask you these questions. Are you the informant? Whoa. If you agree to answer any of those questions, you know what I'm saying? So me personally, I answered. I just told the homie, hey, my shit's all personal between me and them. Much love. I would never do you like that. Barato. You know what I'm saying? But that's how they operate, man. And, you know, so I don't think it was really primarily known that he was the main one on that case yet. I think that came out a little bit later on. And then when Operation Monster came out, here you have the fucking star witness, Operation Valley Star, which is, to me, that triggered everything. Operation Black Widow had a big effect, but for 6 years, there was no indictments. After Operation Valley Star hit, there's been indictment after indictment after indictment. And that's what I meant in the spiel I did earlier about the different types of leadership. They're sending people out there to the wolves with expectations to do this and do that. So after this indictment right here, this is the one that may have been the second most crippling of where we are at today. Because of all the interactions with all the different regiments, all the people that got hemmed up, it just brought down the whole nucleus of those who had potential leadership skills. It brought them all down. Now you got a bunch of individuals who are trying to fill those slots. Some of them are qualified, some of them are competent. So I broke down a spiel on that today about when I was talking about leadership. And now they changed it. Like, you think about it, man, like you had everybody report to every regiment, right? That was bad enough. Now you got every fucking little city that has a regiment with about 20 fucking manpowers. No wonder you're seeing indictments every couple of months. Whereas before you would have maybe the East Bay. It could be Rojo out there with maybe like 4 or 5 dudes. And you got the whole East Bay, but you're operating kind of in a clandestine fashion to where you're doing what you got to do. And if there's those that need to get taxed, you're going to go tax them. Same thing with San Jose. Bigger area, but you wouldn't have this side, that side, Sunnyvale Regiment, Santa Clara Regiment, Milpitas Regiment. You wouldn't have none of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. This Operation Valley Star kind of created a whole different direction because now they started appointing people out there with positions out there to the streets. They kind of just changed the dynamics of how it used to be. Like, you would never hear about every hood having to report to the regiment now, kicking money. You know what I'm saying? And think that they're involved. And next thing you know, you have a fucking 50-man indictment or 70-man indictment. Why? Because you got everybody involved in your business. That was never supposed to be the NF way. And, you know, Pena had a big effect as far as in this whole scenario, bro, because everybody got hit after this. They had other informants, but they started appointing certain people in this case, right? There's one dude I know. I'm going to tell the story. Jay Stewart Hansen, I did time with him. He's the one that was there when I took off on the dude in the shower. He gets arrested, and they put him as the RC of Los Banos. He didn't know he was no fucking RC. He was just selling dope for somebody, right? He ends up going into going to court and meets Pocky, and Pocky tries to come and get at him. He doesn't know who Pocky is. He said, "Get the fuck away from me, old man." Right? Luckily, Pocky had patience. He didn't know any better. He didn't know shit. He didn't know all this. He's indicted under Operation Valley Star, man. But Pocky had a good heart. Found out who he was apologetic, and apparently he held his mug, got pulled as a head soldado for that. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, like I said, the Operation Valley Star, man, was OBW was big, right? But this brought down the last type of individuals that were capable and competent to even uphold anything. And there was a reason why everything was kind of solid to the best of their ability for so many years, because you had a lot of C's that were been active for a while. They had time, that knew what to do, and they had the proper schooling. So now you got everybody that's just getting basic education. Hey, here, you got to take over this regiment. And they come out, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And then they're indicted in 2 months.
You know what's the trip, bro? Is like, the whole time, like me and you have discussed it many times, bro. When I was in the Bay, it was, with Tibbs specifically, it was strictly forbidden to cross regiments with your business, with your information, with anything more than a respectful hello, basically. Not kicking it, not barbecuing, none of that. You did all that within your own.
Well, you're also supposed to screen your manpower out in the streets before you let them come to your regiment. You didn't just 100%. Let anybody come in your regiment. You know what I mean? They're letting anybody now.
Yeah, that's one of the mistakes I made, was being told to talk to somebody and not checking them out. You know what I mean? At all. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of on me. You know what I'm saying? But what I trip off of is that you're taught all these things, and then Operation Black Widow happens, and it showed that Lizard was having free reign in every city, every regiment, bobbing and weaving, coordinating, conducting whatever he was doing. They find this out a year later. They're doing the same thing with the OG Pocky. Nothing against him at all. He's a cool dude. He's intelligent.
You know what though?
But it's like, this just happened.
What I don't get, if he was going to do that, then right, why didn't he isolate himself from everybody else, maybe, and just not let Salinas be Salinas, and he just lets everybody report to him? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just saying it because what happened was the feds needed somebody to be their eyes and ears out there, and that was him. That's what it came down to.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's just a whole lot, though, man. It's like all you got to do is follow that one person wherever they go, and you have everything, because he's involved in every single thing that goes on. That I didn't get that, because right after that mistake with Black Widow, that's what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely.
I don't know.
I never understood it, because I was told different when I got out, that, you know what I'm saying, small crew, you know what I'm saying, paying scale after we generate some money, regiment bank and all this shit, man. I never seen none of that stuff, man. All I seen was, fuck, we need more money. We need more money. Your quota goes up. Where's the money? You know what I'm saying? That's all it came down to, man. But who knows? Who knows what happened with Charles Oakes, man, as far as, why he flipped? I don't know. I'm pretty sure someone's going to ask him.
I never heard either. I never heard either whether he was facing charges, whether, it was a case of where he felt he got played or something. It's never come across my radar either as to the possibilities of why.
Well, some of the stuff when I read in the reports, man, was kind of like, it was different than what you hear from other people, how he acted. It kind of seemed like he was more inferior in reporting to Salinas, if you make sense. Just his whole attitude and demeanor wasn't like what I've heard of him. Out there, they thought he was God. I heard it out of people's mouths. Peanut this, peanut that, peanut this. I'm like, who the fuck's this Peanut? What's he look like, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, well, fucking, I already knew of him. You know what I'm saying? But I did, I remember there was one individual that came through, man, and he was in Soldado, and he was supposedly being recruited as a prospect by fucking Peanut. You know what I'm saying? But when he got there, I stripped him of his in Soldado status. For what the laws were, I'm like, if this is what the dude's recruit, I'm like, man, this doesn't seem right. You know what I'm saying? Some cat named Happy from Hayward, you know what I'm saying, was up in the Bay with him. I've heard from some other people, but they used to throw his name out there a lot, bro. Like for that area, you always hear about Pisa and you always hear about him, those two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've been around, they've been doing their thing, and, you know, the thing about it is that that's a brave motherfucker to go back to your town after everything that you did, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's
But
savage, bro.
Stockton at that time had been in disarray. I was out there, bro. There was no homeboys. The county jail was all fucked with all the actors and all that for a minute. I was told that by homeboys that were active I was talking to out there, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them were waiting for Mad Dog to get out. Because Mad Dog was supposed to be touching down around, I think, before he got re-indicted. He was just about to get out. And that's the word I heard. Oh, Mad Dog, I'm all right, better fucking watch out now. But yeah, man, that's all I have to add about this dude, man.
Yeah, going back to your hood, that takes a different kind of person, especially a hood like Stockton, you know, Salinas, San Jose, you know, places that you're gonna run into people, you know, that know you, you know, and especially once you become one of the people, you're known, whether you want to be or not, no matter how, like I told you before, when I got out of Pelican Bay, there was people that were relatively insignificant as far as status or, you know, prison history or anything like that. Not that they're insignificant as a person, don't take that wrong, but they knew who I was. And I'm like, I don't even know you. They're like, oh, hey, made me feel kind of weird, bro. Like, I mean, I don't want all this attention at all. I want zero attention. I want to be the white dude. I just want to be the white dude. Oh, there's that white dude. That's all I wanted to be.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I wasn't in all them videos and I wasn't at Berryessa on $250,000 boats and stuff, man. I wasn't doing all that. It's weird to me. But anyway, there you go. Little something, little perspective about Peanut.
People have been asking about him, man. I mean, I don't know a whole lot. I know he was in YA for a minute. I don't know how he got validated. I don't know what year he got pulled. I know that as far back as 2000, 2000, he was actually being acknowledged as a C back then. I do know that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Like I said, the first I had heard of him was after I went back to prison on a little term when after my career was already over. That's the first I'd ever heard of him. I was like, oh yeah, never heard of him. I don't know where he was in the Bay, who pulled him, none of that, none of his history.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, a little bit about Peanut, Stockton, Valley Star, things that go down. Your past catching up with you. That's that. Big Flacco, I'm Rojo. We're out of here. Holler at y'all later. Have a good Monday.